Assalamu alaikum guys, welcome to another character breakdown series. This time we are gonna be breaking down Vegito, France's poster boy, or as the French should call him, Baguetto. So without further ado, let's get into it. So starting off with specials, Vegito is one of those characters that share their specials in both the ground and the air, except the counter which is grounded. So first up is a spiral headshot. This is a quarter circle forward attack button special. Vegito throws out a flurry of kicks while traveling a set distance, basically a multi-hitting lariat. This is a great block string ender with having a disadvantage of -4 on block, basically making it safe. Plus it has got a really good pushback, making it hard for a lot of characters in the roster to like challenge immediately after getting blocked because of the pushback. The light and heavy variants of the move are fast enough to be part of a true block string. The medium, however, is not a part of a 2-block string, but after a key blast, it can be a 2-block string because the key blast has a bit of a special block stun, but like nothing that special. One hit only, the medium and the heavy variant will give you a 1 bounce. The medium variant will give you a wall bounce, give you a short wall bounce enough to convert on the corner. The heavy variant, however, will give you a large wall bounce, which will allow for conversion from anywhere in the screen, mid-screen, corner, etc. The heavy variant is basically your mid-screen combo extenders or super dash combo extenders. The range of the moves are going to be as follows: the light, the medium, the heavy. The light travels the shortest distance out of the 3 variants. The medium and the heavy travel the same distance on the ground. On the air, however, in typical DBFZ fashion, their range of motion of the distance travels increases, with the light and medium basically traveling full screen, and the EX variant traveling full screen and more. The light and the heavy variant have the least recovery out of the 3 moves, with basically them being 43 frames of recovery in air, and the heavy variant having the largest recovery out of the 3 moves at like 50 frames or 49 frames, somewhere on that part. So that will be the spiral headshot. Up next is the Atomic Buster. This is a quarter circle back attack button special of Vegito. This is an anti-air command grab. Yes, all of the variants have anti-air properties. The light variant is 13 frames up close and has like good verticality, but not that good of a horizontal range. The medium, however, being the slowest at 19 frames up close, has a decent horizontal range, but is at the slowest and is Vegito's only meterless starting knockdown option. The heavy variant is the best of both worlds, being at 13 frames up close and having a bouncing knockdown as is and also having a ground bouncing knockdown, giving a much more advantageous knockdown at a half a bar. The EX variant gives you a bouncing knockdown, which on low hit stun situations can also be comboed off of. Up next is the split finger shot. This is the quarter circle forward special button move. Vegito jumps up to super jump height and simultaneously throws out 5 key blasts, covering a huge portion of the screen. The grounded version is a tad bit risky, as like time super dash or a timed counter play can easily get you punished and you cannot block in time. The air variant, however, gives you much more flexibility, allowing you to retain your super jump fall momentum or IID momentum, therefore drastically reducing the negative frames you normally have and allowing you time to block. In the best case scenario, even 2H at times. Onto the last special, the only grounded move, is the quarter circle back special, the barrier. This is a full invisible counter. That means any sort of physical attacks or projectile attacks will prompt the counter to come out. That means even acid, because I have now treated as projectiles now. However, it isn't a frame 1 invisible move, it's a frame 4 invisible move. That means it can lose immunity setup, and also it does not counter supers or command grabs. It loses only to supers and command grabs. On hit, you'd either have to vanish for a full confirm, or go into a special tag to combo with it. There is no meterless combo routes for this. Onto buttons and blockstrings. Vegito all across the board has some really amazing normals. Almost every normals in his arsenal is -5 on block. Plus, it has some amazing range. And actually it got buffed with some normal changes that he got to his medium buttons. First we'll go over the light buttons. The first hit of the auto combo is the 7-hit flurry. This is a really comfortable button of like being active for -47 frames. That means you're much more prone to getting punished by key blast from a long distance, but it makes up for the fact that it is -5 on block. -5 on block, and has some amazing range on it as well. You can expect some people to run into that just because of its being active and like having such a good travel and range as well. And in clash situations, you can almost expect to win every time unless your opponent is a big brain and can react with a reflect or level 3. But you can also space it really well enough that challenging after this button almost becomes impossible for a lot of characters, because not every character has like really far-reaching jabs. Otherwise they'll have to commit for a medium, and you can expect them to beat them out on that. The second hit of the auto combo is a singular kick, and it is -5 on block as well. So this works as cancelling out the commitment from the first hit of the auto combo by just smashing the light auto combo. The second hit of the auto combo also has a bounce like Bardock, Janemba, etc. But you can only convert it to the medium because it keeps your opponent bouncing and not actually keep them to the ground. And plus Vegito's 2M isn't fast enough for that as well. Not as good as the Bardock or Janemba's one, but it still has the vacuum effect, which is kind of useful for combo conversion. Like a lot of combo conversions can be done thanks to this vacuum effect. The last hit of the auto combo is a command grab. Basically, it's the animation that you get for counter when you get the counter as well. So yeah, it is actually a full-fledged command grab. Just to be clear, as you can see, even on guard you can block it. But yeah, on whiff it has like a huge negative frame, -21 frames. So it's basically a really easy punish. So don't miss that auto combo. Yeah, that will be the light auto combo. Vegito also has another button in his light arsenal, that is his 2L. Although this is not a low hitting normal, but this is well compensated for by having an enormous range, like almost the same as his medium, but with momentum behind it. That plus it can also crush lows as well, just to be clear. Therefore the compensation for being not a low is, I'd say, huge. Plus, if you get hit by it, it also scales like a medium starter. So yeah, it's really an all-purpose button, except that it starts at 20 frames, pretty slow. Therefore, it can never be a part of a true block string because it's like 20 frames. Come on, frankly speaking, who cares? Because like Vegito has like a million buttons to get back into at you anyways. The crouching light has a special property of being able to go into reverse. That not as versatile as Adult Gohan. He can use the button after medium buttons like this. So if you haven't used them already, then you can go back to your light buttons. If you have another medium button that you haven't used yet, like for example something like that, then you can still use the medium after the light auto combo. But the same medium cannot be repeated again. That has been already been used in one block string. But of course, with staggers, you can still go back into that. So that is also pretty good. After heavy, you cannot use it. After heavy, you cannot use the dual. So one more special thing that is crouching light has that I forgot to mention is that it actually jails with advantage. Yeah. Enjoy with that information. On to Vegito's star button, the medium buttons. The first one is gonna be the standing medium. This is the Falcon Punch, or basically Vegito's standing medium. This is 9 frames up close. So this is a pretty fast button plus a lot of range. It covers 80%, almost 80% of the screen with momentum. You need a bit of momentum to get maximum range, and if you hit it from like maximum range or as far as possible, or from as far as possible, then you can definitely decrease your negative frames. But up close, it's -5. It's -5 on block, also a safe button. But if you hit it from max range, then you can definitely decrease it and get even like lower negative frames like that, -3. And so it's pretty fast. Like it comes at you like at lightning speed, and like damn, it's one hell of a button. The people are kind of complaining about it on Twitter, but to be honest, everything is complained about on Twitter, so who cares about that? Then onto the down medium button. This is also another one of the far-reaching buttons. It's similar to Adult Gohan, but it has like less range than the standing medium. But even then, it still goes about somewhere about 50% of the screen. And if you do it from 50%, then you'll still be able to hit any further than that. Then there's a chance it might not work. So it's still an impressive asset, but it's on the slower side at 15 frames up close, and this is the unsafe button actually on Vegito's arsenal. Also the heavies are unsafe as well, but that can be negated in other ways. So yeah, this one is unsafe and slow on the slower side of the buttons, so be careful about that. That's one thing to note about, I guess. Then comes the heavy buttons, the up close 14 frames and -9 on block. That makes it an unsafe button, but the window of challenge is actually shorter than a lot. Like it's actually less than the down medium, so it can be a bit tricky, because considering that Vegito has a lot of key blast and other cancels to go out for after heavy. So you can still trick them into thinking that you're not gonna do anything, and you can still press buttons or something. This also has a really good range of like 80%, going 80% of the screen as well. Yeah, because why not? Why not just let every button reach 80% of the screen? Plus, you can do the same thing as with the medium button. If you like hit it from maximum range, then you can definitely decrease its negative frames. You can go down to 6 frames. I mean, space it that way. But due to the pushback, you're much more safe anyways. Like a lot of characters won't be able to reach. You can get it down to minus 6 frames. Then the last physical button would be the 2H. The 2H is probably the most unsafe button in Vegito's arsenal. You get airborne as well. It has like a good amount of verticality and a bit of traveling range because it just somersaults in the air. This is probably the worst button in Vegito's arsenal, frankly speaking, because like it really doesn't serve any other purpose except for like anti-airing it, and it does its job well enough, to be honest. Like there is no question for that. But the only cancel after it is, to be honest, the split finger shot, and even then that can also be like punished with the super dash. Also, basically, if you super dash after Vegito's 2H, I said that's the most reliable punish, because you can also super dash to split finger shot or super dash spiral shot at a spiral shot escape, punishing that as well. So yeah, it kind of sucks. So basically, refrain from using this button unless you need to anti-air. That is all for the grounded normals. Onto the air normals. The air normals are also pretty damn good, well, and have some great hitboxes and great range. The air jab is like standard 7 frames. I mean, most of them are actually 6 frames, but yeah, standard 6 frames. And the medium is 10 frames. Then there is the heavy, that is also 13 frames. So Vegito is another of the characters that doesn't have any kind of heavy that smashes them back to the ground. Instead, he has some other normals, I guess. Therefore, the only sliding out option is the medium atomic buster. Due to having such good hitbox on his air normals, Vegito poses a really looming threat when he's in the air. Like you cannot like freely super dash him unless he's doing some combo moves like the spiral kick or the split finger shots. All of the buttons, like on reaction, you can actually snuff out super dashes or any kind of like attempt. The heavy has like a really large hitbox as well, which will also help you like snuff out super dashes, because like you can always like throw it out like this. Doing safe IID movements like that will also help you like keep safe. Then you can just convert. You can convert with vanish. The air buttons are like pretty damn good anyways. You can always do this. You can't get anything any more better than this with air buttons. The only, I guess, bad button in his air button would be the JM. This is like a bit of Goku Black style like medium. So you have for cross up you cannot do like I mean you can do it, but you have to time your button like really late to be able to hit an opponent, like a medium size opponent. And since he got his medium got buffed, it won't like do any more problems anymore. So you can do normal crosses, but you have to time your button a bit late. You don't have to do any dash shenanigans or anything to connect after a cross up with a JM. But people usually prefer going for this because it has a better hitbox than the jumping medium. But it's a bit on the slower side, so on 13 frames. That's why. So it'll depend upon if your opponent is can easily react to it or not. Onto the special buttons. The standing special is like a ball of ki blast, which has like a bit of like higher absorption than normal. But other than that, it is like a normal ki blast. It actually does not have any kind of higher priority. Then there is the 6S or the forward special. The forward special is like a mid skin covering ki blast. It has a pretty huge hitbox, so you can pretty much throw it out pretty easily and then still be able to hit him like a bit over 50%. So it will actually this ki blast actually loses to character with higher priority like Broly or Goku Black. As you can see, like it will Goku Black or like Broly will plow through his ki blast. So this ki blast is nothing more than to apply pressure, and it is a pretty good apply pressure tool because it's -4 on block. So that as well. Then there is this down special with the speed sword. This is 20 frames on block. I mean 20 frames startup, so it will come up after the ki blast because it's a bit on the slower side. And also it has like a really slender hitbox, so a lot of times you can miss them. But normal height characters will pose no problem, but characters like Vegeta and others, well, they're crouching, they can actually miss. So as you can see, they characters like them can you can miss them, so that's also one thing to have note. But they are physical attacks, so they cannot be reflected, unlike those standing specters, which can be reflected because they are like physical. So the speed sword is actually part of actually not a key blast like property. That means if you do not reflect the key blast, if you don't reflect the speed sword, then you cannot reflect what comes afterward, unlike the other key blasts. So is also the case for his jumping special, that is the downward speed. So this actually has a really good verticality, almost reaches from super jump to a bit higher. It will reach a bit higher than super jump as well. So it also depends on character's height as well. So based on your character, super jump is the maximum height. This is also a physical attack, that means super dashes can be countered with it. So any attempted super dashes can also be snapped using those speed sword buttons, just to be clear. And on smash, you can and if you have smash, then you can convert them if you manage to get a hit with smash. But the down special actually can be converted using super dash even if you don't have smash, but those are in really low hit stun situations. The air special, on the other hand, can only be converted if you do not have any smash, then it can be only converted on the corner and nowhere else, even in low hit stun situations. So there's one thing to know about. So these are, I'd say, all of his buttons. Now I'll just show you some examples of like how his blockstring would be. Those would be without any commentary. Those are just some ideas about how his blockstring goes and how reflect proof and like basic blockstrings work basically. So here are the examples.
Pathetic! Gotcha! Take this! Pathetic! Pathetic! Gotcha!
Moving on to the neutral section for Vegito, I'd say this is the aspect that Vegito sucks at the most. I know how many of you jaw dropped at this sentence, but just hear me out. For the grounded approach to neutral, Vegito comes from the hate school of playing neutral, basically approaching neutral with your physical button. Due to how many buttons he has that reaches so far, like with the down medium, the standing medium, then there also is the 2L, then also is the heavy as well. So he excels at this much more than hate does. The fact that he can also go into his true blockstring after that, then keep you into pressure with assays, that also helps him out a lot. But it's just not the fact that he can go do that. He also due to the fact that he has so many buttons, he can always stagger them or go into reverse like that as well. Then his options gets much more diverse, and for that makes it much more of a threat. In the air, however, his options are kind of limited with the air, with the split finger shot or the EX heal shot or the light heal shot. The medium variant is being ruled out because the medium variant has too much recovery, and like anybody, I mean, after a certain skill level, I think everybody would be able to punish that after seeing once or twice. But the EX and the light having low recovery can always help you to the split finger shot in the air. You can keep yourself safe by throwing it down when you're falling down. If you have like 3 birds, then you can level 3, or if you have vanish, then you can always vanish out. But that can be punished by using raw tag if your opponent is Omega Brain. You can also traverse using the spiral shot, which can be punished if you are horizontal to your opponent. But more often than not, they can actually punish you. They can punish your spiral shot attempts by super dashing at you like from below you or above you, but you can also punish their super dashes by doing it in a height where they're above or below you, I guess. But if they're above you and super dash at you, then I think 9 out of 10 times they'll beat their super dash will cancel out your EX hill kick or the light hill kick. Although the split finger shot has like a really good spin coverage, but anywhere above the super jump height, it will not cover. Also, if you're point blank, it will also not cover. As you can see, a clean super jump will allow you to avoid it, and if you have any kind of traversal move, then you can also punish the attempt on that end. So, but any character that has like standard key blast can easily outzone Vegito, frankly speaking. For example, Black can completely shut Vegito down from ground because like his key blast has now high priority, like Broly. So characters like Goku Black, then Vegeta Blue, in tandem with Master DBFZ, you can actually shut down Vegito neutral. They are like really strong against Vegitos, frankly speaking. As you can see, like you can easily shut them down, and then even if you like approach with Hill Kick, they can also deny it. Based on that, if you have like enough movement basics down, or like you know how to space yourself correctly, you can easily win neutral against Vegito, because like he has to commit, and Vegito's problem in neutral is that everything he has to do is a commitment. So there, unless you have like Godrak reactions, or you have completely mapped out neutral, there are a lot of Vegito's approach to neutral is pretty risky compared to like other characters that have normal Ki Blast or other method of transport. For example, Goku Black, as I said, like literally can shut down Vegito on neutral. Goku Black is stronger than Vegito on neutral. Believe me, I know that because I made the character. So yeah, I know it sounds a bit weird considering how much Vegito's played, but Vegito has a lot of shortcomings when it comes to his neutral. So I'd say exploit that just by mastering the basics and throwing out Ki Blast with the basics. For example, base Vegeta is also a really good counter to Vegito, because he can always do the IID. So like if you keep doing IID back into Ki Blast, he'll get hit. And if he throws out the split finger shot, you can always throw out your lob Ki Blast. That will actually defeat his split finger shot. So believe me, a lot of characters can shut down Vegito completely on neutral. But the strength that Vegito gets is from his stagger pressure. And like when he gets you to block, he can do a lot of stagger. That's the main strength from his, not his neutral. That I can say completely confidently. Onto Vegito's assist, Vegito has a really good assist collection. Like he has one of the frankly the best assist collection in the game, because he has a like really good Blockstrings assist and also really good neutral assist. So starting with the A assist is the grounded split finger shot. It starts at 28 frames, has a 20 frame Blockstrings, and it's the same as the grounded split finger shot. Like he also starts up like behind you, so making him a really good defensive assist. As you can see, like up close he starts up from behind you. That means a lot of times you cannot hit him out of, and like it can be used as a really good defensive assist. On hit, even getting hit by a singular Ki Blast will give you a 71 frames to like convert off of. So yeah, this is a really good neutral assist, and like being pretty damn fast, it's really hard to reflect as well. So it's not really a pressure assist, it's more like a defensive assist plus being a really good neutral assist.
Foolish.
Onto the B assist is the spiral hill shot, the light version. It starts up at 30 frames, giving you 45 frames of a block stun. Man, this assist is really good. This is the assist I like to run with this team specifically, because Trunks and Hit actually struggle with their pressure a bit, and like the lack of mix. So having a 45 frames of block stun really helps. So it travels the same distance as the light spiral hill shot. As you can see, it's the same. It doesn't travel that much, and if he misses the kick, then he still has like 30 frames, which is the same as like a beam level of hit stun. So like this assist is pretty damn good in my opinion. Plus on hit, it actually has like more block stun than more hit stun than the A assist. It has 73 frames, just to be clear. I don't know why people does not play this assist, and like it's a damn good assist in my opinion. I mean, I like to run it with this team because they need help for their pressure. Maybe it's not the best in terms of like in neutral, but in terms of pressure usage, it's a pretty damn good assist. Yeah, if your playstyle demands you need a Blockstring assist, I'd say Vegito B is pretty damn good. Onto everybody's favorite assist, the C assist. The C assist is speed show, starting up at 45 frames, having 20 frames. Actually, the least amount of Blockstring among all the assist collection. I don't know why anybody would take it, but the advantage that it has that it tracks both vertically and horizontally. So that's the advantage that you would have, I guess, and therefore you can do some really easy combo extensions. But starting up at 45 frames and having like less than the A assist or the B assist with the cooldown and everything really doesn't seem like a good choice. Like his other two assists are like amazing. So this C assist kinda is pale in comparison, and there's nothing really to talk about it. Like really low block stun plus the huge amount of cooldown. So I'd say this is his weakest assist, but if you feel like you need that help and like and will help you in your neutral game, then yeah, I can see you picking an assist. So yeah, that'll wrap up everything I have to say about Vegito and will conclude his character breakdown. So that'll be it for the character breakdown for Vegito. Hopefully you guys learned something and this helps to counterplay Vegito or like play Vegito even better than before. And if you did enjoy it, please leave a like. And if you do want to see more content like this, to consider subscribing. I mean, I also play ranked matches with commentary, so look for, you can also check them out. And yeah, with that out of the way, enjoy the comment section. I mean, enjoy the combo section, and I'll see you in the next one. Allah Hafiz. Assalamu alaikum. Ooh,